Welcome to the Greater Evils Rules video. First, shuffle the backers in main decks, and deal 5 cards from the main deck to each player. This will be your hand. Now, turn 3 backers over, face up in the center of the table. Your goal is to win these backers to collect the most points, and each backer is worth a different amount. When a backer is won, draw another right away to take its place. You win backers by playing enough corresponding rhetoric cards. We'll talk more about this soon, but roughly, players take turns playing rhetoric cards, face down in front of them. These are now active cards because they're in play and not in your hand. Eventually, you'll flip these cards face up to claim a backer if you can meet its requirements. In the case of this law enforcement backer, you can see it takes 3 rhetoric cards total to win, but this backer only wants to hear 2 kinds of rhetoric from you: exaggeration and sweet talk. These icons match, so each rhetoric card counts as 1 toward the backer's requirements. If the icons don't match, the card doesn't count. There's one exception. All backers also accept lie rhetoric cards. You will never see the lie icon on any backer, so just remember, lie cards are wild and always count. Quick example. To win law enforcement, you need 3 cards in any combination of E, S, and lies. We have that winning play right here. This would also win it. Even being a total liar takes it. But this play leaves you a card short because the backer does not care about facts. Some cards are also colored, which only matters sometimes. This topic is summarized on an instructional card to make your first playthrough easier. So all rhetoric and backer cards are either red, blue, or white. White backers are independents, open to any argument, so they accept any color rhetoric card. As long as the icons match or you're playing a lie card, it counts. Color doesn't matter. Similarly, white rhetoric cards are generic arguments, so they count as 1 toward any color backer. Basically, white always works all the time, whereas blue rhetoric cards only count toward blue backers, and red rhetoric cards only count toward red backers. So playing this blue exaggeration on evangelicals doesn't do anything for you because the colors don't match, even though the icons do. But you can break the color rule if you play double the cards. 2 matching blue equals 1 red. 2 matching red equals 1 blue. It's like shouting twice as loud at someone until they agree with you. Again, this is all on the instructional card. So there are a few ways to win the poor, a blue backer who only wants to hear promises. You could play 3 white promises. Or they could be all blue, or a mix. But any can also be lies. 2 matching red cards can be played to equal 1 blue. You could even win with all red. 5 actions are available to you each turn, summarized on a second instructional card. To start the game, the player most likely to be the direct cause of all-out international nuclear warfare goes first, then play clockwise. Turn action number 1. Anytime during your turn, you can play a candidate card to use its special power, which discards it from the game. Play as many as you want. If it's not your turn, you can use a candidate's power if it is a defensive cancellation maneuver noted by the word cancel. Instead of using its special power, you may also make the candidate active by playing it face up in front of you. We'll talk about the benefits of this soon. You can only have 1 candidate active at a time, but you can also discard your active candidate to use its power. To be clear, you can use its special power this way, or this way. Turn action number 2. Anytime during your turn, you may discard from your hand 3 rhetoric cards of the same category, any color combination to draw 1 card. Turn action number 3. Once during your turn, you may announce you're playing a single category of rhetoric cards, which you play face down in front of you. For instance, you announce 2 promise. You're not allowed to privately look at these cards again, but you may flip over all your active cards at any time for everyone to see. There are 2 legal moves for playing rhetoric cards, noted on the instructional card. The default legal move is to play 2 or more matching rhetoric cards of a single category and same color, like 2 blue promise, 3 red fact, etc. But if you have an active candidate in front of you, your options are greatly expanded. You may now play 1 or more rhetoric cards of a single category, any color combination. For example, You could play these 3 sweet talk, even though the colors don't match. Or you could play just 1 fact. But those are just the legal plays. Since cards are played face down, you can be a lying politician and break the rules. One way to lie is by playing lie rhetoric cards. Every backer accepts lie cards, but don't ever say, "I play a lie." You'll definitely be called a liar in that case. Instead, call the card something else, like a fact. The second way to lie is any illegal play. Your cards don't have to be the same category, and they don't have to match color if you don't have an active candidate. Play whatever you want, but claim you're making a legal move. But at any time before the next player takes an action, any one opponent may call out liar or bullshit or Clinton or whatever. When accused of a lie, immediately turn the cards you just played face up. If you lied, your accuser takes those cards and makes them active for himself. But if you told the truth, steal an equal number of rhetoric cards from your accuser, starting with your choice of their active cards, which then become your active cards. If the cards were face down, they stay face down. If face up, they stay face up. If your accuser does not have enough active cards, take the difference from their hand randomly and put them in your hand. Do not count cards won this way toward how many are actually in your hand this turn, as that would cheat you out of cards you get to draw at the end of your turn. Turn action number 4. When you're ready to claim a backer, announce your selection. If you just played rhetoric cards this turn, allow the table the brief opportunity to call you a liar. Then turn all your active rhetoric cards face up to prove you have the required amount. Other players now have the opportunity to debate you for that backer. We'll cover that in a moment, but if nobody debates, take the backer and win its points. Then discard all your active rhetoric cards in exchange, even cards that didn't apply to the backer you won. Your active candidate stays. Then turn over a new backer. Turn action number 5. Draw to reach 5 cards in your hand. If you already have 5 or more, still draw 1. Drawing officially ends your turn. Now for the final twist. When you attempt to win a backer, any 1 or more opponents may challenge you to a debate for it, if he or she has an active rhetoric card on the table. This engages a tense 2 rounds with special rules, which only affect players who are debating. Other players take their turns as normal, but they cannot win the backer currently in debate. Do not draw a replacement backer until the debate is over. In a debate, you play cards face up, not face down, and can't be called a liar. You may play any amount of rhetoric cards the backer accepts, including lie cards, all at one time in any color combination. However, you cannot play rhetoric categories the backer doesn't accept. After the debate, everyone involved discards all their active rhetoric cards, whether they won or lost. Challengers have 2 turns to beat the original claimer by ending with the highest total of cards that the backer accepts. A tie goes to the original claimer. Here's an example of how a debate might go. Player A says he plays 2 promises. Nobody calls him a liar, so he flips his cards over to claim law enforcement. Player C says he'll debate. Player B takes his turn as normal. Player C plays cards face up and plays a candidate to hurt Player A. Player A takes his first turn of the debate. Player B goes. Player A calls B a liar, and he's right, so he adds these cards to his total. Player C takes his final turn of the debate. Player A takes his final turn of the debate. The totals are tied, so Player A wins the backer. Both debaters discard all their active rhetoric cards. Any debater may also choose to give up on a debate early at the beginning of their turn. Simply discard your active rhetoric cards and return to playing as normal. The game ends, and the player with the most points wins the moment the main deck is exhausted. For a shorter game, end when a player hits 21 points, or any other amount you agree to. That's it! Enjoy the game, and happy lying!